So I'll move to my Mac to show you this, just because I've spent enough time on my Windows client. So here's my OS X desktop with Premiere Pro 2020 running. And where I go to get to my FastTracker panel is the Windows menu, to Extensions, to FastTracker panel. And I should show you, before we get too much further, how it got there. One way is to go to the Adobe Exchange, and on Adobe Exchange website you simply grab the FastTracker panel and it'll do it all for you. But we also include, within FastTracker 3.5, we include the ZXP file. So here's my FastTracker ZXP. ZXP is the format for Adobe panels, and what I have here we also include is the ZXP installer. I already have it here, so I'll just open it up. The ZXP installer, all you got to do is drag the file over here to install it, and you got to put your password in for your software install on the Mac, and it says, okay, go ahead and restart your Adobe application. It's there. I already did that before, so I know it's already there. And then you'll find it in the Windows Extensions FastTracker panel. And FastTracker panel comes up like this. And here's the login that we saw the same way in the desktop browse WebTech front end. You're going to see the same login here. Now, it's not localhost. This is the first time I've launched it in this version. I'm going to go 192.168.1.219. I know that's the IP address for the server. I can also put the name of the server in there if I want to as well, as long as resolving names to IP addresses in your facility, which the servers normally do. I'll log in there. Oh, because I put a password on admin. Tricky. All right, so let's bring this down a little bit, resize that in. Okay, now we're good. So here's the same interface that I had with the desktop browse. All the catalogs are here. I'm going to go to my demo catalog anytime, give me the past hour, and what's been added. Okay. Well, these have all been added in the past hour. They're actually changed. So anything that's been modified in the past hour will show up here. These haven't necessarily been indexed, but I modified them to change catalogs and change primaries and things like that, which is why they're showing up. So I'll go to the global and actually show you some stuff here anytime. And we're going to go to the brand star volume. Okay, so here I have some footage. I have a proxy here to play down. Now this is actually the whole program, so it looks like it's about, it's a couple gigs. It's 8-minute runtime. So I can see that, okay, this is what I want for my timeline, so I'm going to mount it. Now this shows blue for the source, and this shows that the file exists on the brand star volume. So instead of going now to the client console to mount the volume, I can do it right through here. Right mouse click, mount. And whoop, there it goes. So now the brand star volume showing up on my desktop, and these go to green. So I can now just drag that directly into my timeline. And there it is. So now I can utilize those files. Now this is a way to get access to media from within the Adobe Premiere application. This also works within After Effects. And it gives you the entire database of media across the entire shared storage server in a window within Adobe. And this is a good place to also use the browse functionality as well. So here I can go through and see all the different places. And once again, this shows me on my Mac workstation as well what I have mounted locally, what's available to me, and what's not available. So if I decide, I'm going to search for something with track in it. Oops, sorry. I got to go back here and search for something with track in it, because that'll show me everything. So here it is. I have it's on the brand star volume because I told it to go to the brand star volume. So let's search for other stuff with track in it. Okay, here we go. So here's some images of a car on a track, and I'll see. Okay, this is exactly what I want. That'll work great for my track montage. So it's not available to me. This shows that it's unavailable for the source. So let's look again. It looks like, okay, all three of the copies of this are all on the jack track volume, so I have to have someone give me access to that. So the administrator would then go in and they would, let's go up here. They would go into the admin console. They'd find the jack track volume. They'd say, yeah, sure enough, new Pro 2 is not there. That's the name of my client here. New Pro 2, write permission, add that, or even, read permission. You don't necessarily need to write to it to get access to the files, and then hit that there. Refresh the view, and it goes to blue. Blue, of course, once again, means I can mount the volume. It's available to me. So now I just go to mount that, and that goes green, and now I can bring that nice picture down for my timeline. You can also undock this, of course, if you want to make it full screen, bring it over to the alternate window if you have two different monitors here that you're using within your application. Helps when you're using the browse area because it certainly is going to take up more space. So let's see, why is that? Oh, because recursive's not on. Yeah, so basically make that nice and big, and this is still within the Adobe application. It looks a lot like the desktop browse, but this is within the Adobe application, and you can drag and drop directly from here into the Adobe and put it on your other monitor or whatever you want. Now this would work the same way if I was in my desktop browse application. We call it desktop browse. It is the FastTracker client. Once again, I have to add my password. So let's just do all catalogs. Let's do the brand star volume again and say, okay, here's all my stuff. And here's the browse view of all my stuff, brand star volume, show recursive through my footage and all that. Okay, good. Now if I was working in Final Cut Pro X, Resolve, Pro Tools, I have lots of WAV files that I can get access to here that I can preview or audition directly from here. So it's kind of hard to hear from my Mac, but oh, it's tone, nice. And I can drag and drop those directly into the session for Pro Tools. And all of this is available directly from this interface. And you'll see here, if I just want to copy something to the desktop, I can also do that. So this guy here, well, that's 9.8 gigs. I'm not going to do that. 20 gigs. These are huge files. Okay, 58 megs. I'm going to grab that, bring it to the desktop. It copies over, and there it is. There's the clip that I can use anywhere I want. If I don't want to do that, and I just want to get access to the proxy, then it doesn't matter what I have mounted here. In fact, let me go and unmount whatever volumes I have here, and I can show you that if I unmount CG, the brand star, those go away. You'll see that now this goes to a blue instead of a green. Okay, so that's not mounted locally, but I can still see the proxy, and I can still play down the proxy here. And I can still, in fact, download the proxy. So any place that you can open up this window, or even from the Adobe panel if you want to, you can download the proxy to the desktop. And you can do that right from here, where it says Preview Proxy, OK, Download. It says where do you want to put it, in the Downloads, on the desktop, fine, and it saves that out. So there's the proxy file that I was playing down here. So lots of ways to get access to the files that you need, whether it be through the panel, dragging to the timeline, whether it be through the desktop browse, dragging out onto whatever other application or whatever other drive you want to take home with you. It's all accessible from the FastTracker. And downloading proxies, even if you don't have the source hard drives or volumes available on your desktop, being able to download the proxies as well to take those with you. So next we're going to talk about, in the next section, we're going to talk about Object Cloud and how FastTracker integrates with Object Cloud and how we can move files with FastTracker and move files to the cloud with FastTracker as well, and even proxy files to the cloud with FastTracker.